All right, we're about to go live here, guys. As soon as YouTube gives me the go ahead, and we are live. Welcome to Wall Street Sizing Up. We are doing stock market news today for March 8th, year of our Lord 2021. It was a quite the day of the markets for sure. We'll get to them in just a second, but this is the quick bite news for geeks and traders and misfits. Stuff you probably will not find on CNBC, but some you will. I take it from several newsletters that I read every day and just crunch it down, and the stuff that I think is very interesting, that I find valuable. I hope that you'll find value in it as well. So with that said, we are going to get moving, and we're going to see what the markets did today. We're going to come up to on finbiz.com there. You see it. Dow was up 306. It was up 450, and it had a last 2 hours it sold off. Nasdaq has been down all day long, 310, and S&P big movers today. Another Eyes and Express moved, big apparel retailers. So it is it's kind of good to see, I guess. But anyway, all right, we'll get started. So let's talk about the Senate's passed the $1.9 trillion bill. I know you know all of this, but I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, right? The narrow margin. There was no Republicans that voted for it. Bill includes 1.4K direct payments to adults earning less than $75,000. The upper cap is $80,000. It was $100,000 before. They're bailing out the airlines again. Let me just say this. The airlines are getting $14 billion more. They got $25 billion literally the last time around, in March of 2020, and then $15 billion in December. I don't get that, because here's the thing, right? I don't agree with Cocaine Mitch much, but here's what Cocaine Mitch said, right? This isn't a pandemic rescue package. It's a parade of left-wing pet projects that they are ramming through during a pandemic. I agree with all people getting what they deserve in this pandemic, and that goes as far as payments, right? People have been locked down, they have lost their jobs, and I am empathetic to that, right? But here's what I'm not empathetic to, right? Is that we are just racking up debt. This whole $1.9 trillion, you're getting a $1,400 check when you could have got a $5,000 check if we had taken all this stuff out. They're saving pension funds that have been run bad. They're saving local and state governments that have been run bad. Why are we bailing them out if they were run bad? Why would you bail anything out that's been run bad? Good Lord. It's like, if the CEO's bad, throw them out. Don't throw them more money. Good Lord. We're also creating inflation here because the jobs are going to come back. You've got more money out there. You get more liquidity out there. And so the rich are just going to get much richer in these hard assets, right? In a really non-linear way. The middle class won't be able to reach up to the next house price, right? Because if you haven't noticed, literally I sold my first house a couple of years back, right? $225, right? That house right now, I just saw it listed $295. That house ain't worth $295. It's just not, right? This is my point, right? That you're not going to be able to afford. I mean, a new house now, the average one is like $300K, like across the U.S. It's crazy. Might be a little bit underneath that, but you get my point, right? Because people's incomes aren't moving fast enough to afford that, and a $1,400 check is not going to help. The $5,000 that can move some stuff, right? The poor are just going to stay poor. It just comes, and this will come with more social unrest because the wealth gap is just getting wider and wider and wider. And to give more monies, see, my point is this: is if you're going to give money to the airlines, why not give it to the airlines employees? Don't just give it to the CEOs and let them do, or the CEOs or the executive team. They might do stock buybacks. They might do a whole myriad of things that boost their pay. They don't need it to maintain planes. To maintain planes, you need manpower, right? It's not like they're going out and buying new planes. Good Lord. So, all right. I'm all off my rant. Plus, I mean, if you're in hard assets, you're going to do well in the next couple of years. In fact, you've done well, but you're going to do a hell of a lot better now. All right. Apple rumors are abounding. They're getting into AR glasses. You can see on the screen. Apple analyst has reported that Apple will bring augmented reality products to market in the next couple of years. Rumors about Apple foray into AR, VR space are increasing with Bloomberg and the information reporting from various sources. So that's pretty interesting stuff. Aston Martin announced it will produce its electric vehicles in the UK. In 2025, it wants to roll out, according to Chairman Lawrence Stroll, the automaker's battery sports car and sport utility vehicle, Aston Martin Sports Utility Vehicle (SUV), will be manufactured at plants in England and Wales. Aston Martin will introduce a hybrid version of its DBX SUV later this year, followed by additional hybrids in 2023. It will begin producing its first battery-only vehicles in 2025. They do have an advantage because of their partnership with Mercedes. So, all right, this next one's very, very cool. So this is Bill Gates just invested in this company here. It's called CarbFix, right? It's a startup from Iceland. It's turning carbon dioxide into rocks. You heard me right. Turning carbon dioxide into rocks. The process involves capturing and dissolving CO2 in water and then injecting it into the ground where it turns into stone in less than 2 years. The process is cheap, environmentally friendly, and CarbFix will install its technology at power plants to capture carbon emissions as they are released. It's very, very cool. You know what? Of all the crap that I've said about Bill Gates, I will tell you this. He is, I think, the one human, or at least the best human in the world when it comes to not just sharing his wealth, but literally trying to, all these billionaires do it. But I think Gates does it the best with the Gates Foundation. Him and Melinda do it the best, and that is they support, things that are going to change the world. I mean, they've all but extincted the polio the polio through vaccinations. There's literally just a part of Africa that's left to do. All right, let's talk about Jeff Bezos here. Jeff Bezos' failed attempt to make Amazon the cool. He wanted to have the cool, like Apple, have the big following, like Nike. It followed. So this little on Fast Company, you can find it. You can Google this, but essentially, Bezos, the story says that as it developed from a bookseller to a company that sells everything, it describes Amazon's design process and how Jeff Bezos' decision affects the end product. Amazon's products are developed inside the company's secretive Lab 126 group, which has around 3,000 employees, making it one of the largest internal design groups in the world. All right, prices for oil are up because Saudi got bombed. Oil prices are up after Saudi Aramco's production facilities were attacked by missiles. They don't know who, but the Houthi movement in Yemen has claimed responsibility for carrying out the attacks, but they're not sure, is what this says. All right. Next up will be this one right here. Chevron. Before I get to that, I want to get to this. Young people looking to spend almost half of their stimulus checks on stocks. You heard me right. A recent survey shows that those aged between 25 and 34 who fall under that, was it $80,000 range for the stimmy checks, plan to spend 50% of their stimulus checks on investments and particularly stock market equities, right? And 35 to 54-year-olds surveyed plan to use 37% of their checks on stock market investments. The over 55 survey said they'd put only 16% in stocks. So stocks just go up, right? All right, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. This is really cool. So if you're, this affects the NBA, it's kind of more of a sports story, just real quick. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has expressed his support for Overtime Elite, and that's what this is. A new professional basketball league for the 16 to 18-year-olds that will pay players up to $100,000. So there's only about, I want to say it said 30 players, right? So they're taking the elite of the elite, right? If you're elite in high school and you graduate high school, or you want to leave high school or drop out of high school, if you're the elite of the elite, you can come play in this league here. Now, the headline says 100,000. It says that some of them could get paid up to $200,000 to $500,000. Players who join the league would be ineligible to pursue athletic scholarships at the NCAA level and to attend any American universities per NCAA regulations. That's what it says. So essentially, if you think that you're going to get drafted and you're a top 30 player, you go here and start getting paid. And then when you get to, I believe you've got to be 18 or 19 to get drafted, and then you can go into the NBA. So that's pretty damn cool. All right. Atari will open up an online crypto casino. Very far cry from the 2600. Atari sets up crypto casino, tap into the nostalgia and the NFTs, which are huge. By the way, I've read so much on NFTs. If you haven't got on them, it's okay. You're early. There's been about 300 million spent, but it is growing fast. So it's very, very, very cool. All right. Private equity firm Symphony Technologies buying McAfee Enterprise Cybersecurity Unit for $4 billion. Did not know that McAfee's cybersecurity, I believe it sits on your desktop, or it used to, is worth $4 billion, but they are. Here's what I did not have in my notes. A burned up Banksy NFT just sold for $382,000. Check this out. The Banksy's Morons is the name of the painting, right? Was destroyed on camera in a burning ceremony in Brooklyn this month. A digitized copy of it has been sold as an NFT. So somebody who filmed it, the burning of the Morons, probably him, they filmed it and they put it up as an NFT video. There's just going to be one. Bidder is called Galaxy. So he built $382,000 probably in, I believe that's ETH is what he bought. Yeah, 228 ETH. ETH is up, by the way. They Bitcoin above 51 and ETH above, I believe, I know it's above 16, might be above 1,700 now. Last but not least, PayPal, as we reported yesterday, wanted to make this clear to everybody. PayPal is going after Coinbase. They have bought the digital asset security startup Curve, making its first crypto industry acquisition. Curve is a custody solution, and I believe they are going to try to be an online exchange and compete and get into that market. Goldman Sachs has started up their crypto desk, so why not? And there you have it, guys. That's the news today. I'm trying to do this under 10 minutes. Every time I try, I always fail. We are sponsored by StockTrade.tips. They have one goal to help you profit off the insider knowledge of the hedge funds. You can find them at StockTrade.tips. That is their real website. With that said, guys, cheers. Watch your six, go hard and paint. We'll see you next time. Appreciate you guys.